just a point of order here. We'll have the both coaches here. We'll start with opening statements and then open it up for questions. And we will have the players available for one-on-ones and small groups in the back. We'll have Ben over here with a microphone. If you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. He'll get you one. And tell us where you're from and your question. So we'll start with our visitor, Coach Aranda. Maybe give us an opening statement here.
It's good to see you guys. I'm so blessed to be here. This has been a great experience this week. So appreciative of our bowl and just the treatment that we've been given. And I know that our players and our staff have had a great experience here. Such respect for our opponent and for Coach, just from afar, just seeing kind of coaches and how they move and how they treat people and just all of it, it is humbling for me to be in a game and sit next to a coach I really greatly respect, and then a team that just plays the way that you wish more teams play. They don't beat themselves, tough, physical, start what they finish, do their talking with their actions. And so what a challenge for us. And so, week of practice has been good. It's, with the signing day and everything, you kind of forget what day it is. It's Friday for us in terms of game week, and so we're ready to go.
Coach?
Yeah. Golly, Dave said it so well. I don't know what else there is to cover. We are incredibly grateful to be a part of the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. The remarkable job that Brant does with all their bowls, especially right here in Fort Worth, and an honor truly to represent the United States Air Force Academy. And to play against such a great school, Baylor University, the institution, and then truly the amazing job that Dave's done since he's been there. And they're big, they move well, exceptionally well prepared, and what a test, a huge test for us. And yet we still get to play football this time of year, and that's why we're thankful.
Great. We'll open it up for questions. Mike?
John Werner, Waco Tribune Herald. This is for Dave. Frigid weather coming in tomorrow night. Will you have to alter your game plan for that, or how do you approach that?
Appreciate that. I think it's the mindset going into it. There's been games, I think, in all of our past, and a lot of our players too, where you can't feel your fingers anymore, and then with you can't say the words that you want to say because your mouth doesn't work anymore, and your toes are cold. And meanwhile, there is a great opposing force coming at you, unrelenting. And so, this is the Who Wants It Most Bowl, And so I just think to fully attack that and to put forth our best effort, I think senior-wise, I think team leader-wise, what a way to end a career. And so we're hoping to bring all that to life. I know it will be, it'll be something, and we hope to overcome it.
Well, the further you study and prepare, my goodness, how gifted they are. Tremendous size, great deal of experience. They're an older team that's been together for a while, and very electric. And I think the other part that's impressive too is just how much they've been able to win over the years. And they've done that here over the 8 years. They've definitely done it the last couple of years too.
Daniels will be playing his last game. He's one of the winningest quarterbacks in the
Yeah, Zeke's leadership ability. I mean, just the savvy that he has, the poise, incredibly unselfish, and just a great warrior, and somebody that you're proud to know that he's on a path to go be an officer and a leader for us in the Air Force.
News 5. Troy, you mentioned Hazik. You also have a bunch of great seniors. And what would it mean to you to be able to just send them out with a win here at the bowl game?
Well, it'd be a remarkable achievement. Again, I mean, the sheer challenge of what's involved here. Our guys are pretty clear-headed young men, and they realize that difficulty that's in front of us. Certainly, we don't want to lose sight of a bigger picture. You know, they come to the United States Air Force Academy to go through those rigors, the difficulties to grow as human beings, and have an even greater appreciation for others and to go serve.
And going up against a Big 12 or a Power 5 program for the second year in a row, do you feel like this is a chance for your guys? They kind of mentioned having a chip on their shoulder and a chance for them to prove themselves that they can hang with Power 5 programs?
That's really not us. I mean, I know that's kind of a connotation sometimes you think that it should be, or we have great respect for who we play against, and yet at the same time, like I said, we're just honored to be here.
Matt Mosley, ESPN Central Texas. Dave, what's it like being a defensive coordinator again right now? How has that gone, and then what are you looking for in this next defensive coordinator?
Appreciate that. It's a lot of work, and you always appreciate just this particular offense and just the detail, and I think going into it as coaches, you really the numbers it's an 11-on-11 game all the way, and then I think there's angles. You could have numbers, but if the angles are bad, then it's you have to address it. So I think you have to be way hyper sensitive in terms of numbers and angles, and then the adjustments that come into it. I mean, this game, it could very well be the second quarter and we're both starting our second drive, and so I just think like the ability to make adjustments, and it could be squeezing down on this technique or widening this technique, and then for players to continue to execute their assignment play after play after play with plays that look the same but are attacking different points. And so it's you get into the weeds quickly when you face coach's offense, and so a lot of appreciation for that. Pulled me right back into it, so there's no you kind of have to jump into all of that, and it's been fun while it's lasted. But looking forward, a coordinator that's into relationships and seeing people and valuing that, regardless of the performance or the outcome, is valuing that person and really having true relationships that go past maybe any superficial level. And if you have that with someone that's just way in tuned into the schematics and the adjustments and the latest trends with defensive football, then you'll have a guy we're looking for. And so we're I think deep in that process and looking forward to finishing up.
How difficult was that with Ron, somebody that you were that close with, working through that decision?
It's very difficult. It's part of the job that I really don't like, and it makes me, uncomfortable, and I hate that part of it. I'm happy for Ron that he landed in a really good spot, and it's a testament to who he is and the type of coach he is, and we're hoping to help Ronnie do the same thing, and see both of those guys and their families successful and on to big things, as they should.
Back, Curtis Willing, KPEN, in Waco. Since the end of the regular season, you guys have lost a couple of high-level recruits that were kind of headlining your recruiting class. You mentioned signing day. What was the reaction in the coach's office when you found out, and how do you guys regroup and get ready for the February signing day, especially with those two top-line recruits?
Yeah, appreciate your question. Really excited about the guys we got. I think, we've got ourselves a great class with, kids, I think, that fit us and fit Baylor University, and, with families that are excited about their sons going to Baylor. And so just way appreciative of the connection that our coaches have really tirelessly worked to make with these families and these young men, and just excited for them to get on campus and start. And I think it was a celebration this morning, really, with just the group that we got coming in.
Dave, Chris Williams, KWTX News 10 in Waco. With a bowl game like this, is there a balance of, you want to send the seniors off with a win, but also give some of the younger guys a chance to show what they can do before the offseason kicks up?
Appreciate that. I think throughout the prep, especially early in the prep, there is opportunities for that, and competitiveness between young guys and all of it. And then I think as you get later into it, and is it X over, is it tackle over, how many backs in the backfield, and all this other thing, then the young guys take on a role each week or each day in a given practice. But I think we're more focused on getting the seniors out with the best performance that we can muster.
Coach, right here, Eric Kelly, Fox 44 in Waco. In terms of that triple option and defending that, how much experience do you have on the staff in terms of having faced that, and how do you lean on that, or how do you recreate that in practice?
We don't have a lot of experience. So, yeah, I think for when I was at Hawaii, we would play, I think we played Army, we played Navy, and then I think at LSU we played Georgia Southern. They were all triple option. And then when I was at Cal Lutheran, we played some triple options in our SCIAC Little League there. And so a lot of it's kind of pulling from that, and then trying to study what other people are doing and how it fits what you're doing, and it gets to be a whole thing. And so here at the end of it, just excited for the effort that we're going to put forth. And I think it's after this one, a lot of the coaches can say they've had some experience with this offense.
Michael Haig with the Baylor Lariat. Just for clarity purposes, are you expecting any opt-outs? I mean, there's been no announcements. Are you expecting to have your full roster ready to go for tomorrow?
We've got I think we've got Apu Aika that's not playing in this game. We've got Mark Milton that's not playing in this game. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Bowl season radio. We talked about the weather earlier, but I'm curious, just looking back in your careers, what is the coldest game you've ever been a part of, and what are your memories of that?
Well, we played, this would have been in 2014, we played in Nevada there in Colorado Springs, and we caught a day where I think the temperature was 7 and the wind chill was like -18. And you thought, all right, how fast is this one going to go? Well, it ended up going to overtime. So I remember in the NFL a year where our final regular season game was at Lambeau in Green Bay. Another time in Denver where our next to last regular season game was in Buffalo, and we barely got the plane down to play. I think it was a Saturday night game in Buffalo in late December.
2014, I think, 2014, we played at Wisconsin, we played Minnesota. At the end of every year, you would have the battle for the axe, and when the game was in Madison, it was cold for sure, but it just seemed when we played in Minnesota, just seemed like it was much colder. And I just, that was where I remember by the end of the first quarter, I couldn't say my words anymore because my mouth hurt to move. And I think it was a challenge. Do I put something on top of my head, or do I just start or finish how I started? And so I think that game it was similar wind chill. I think that makes the big difference.
What's your priority now in the quarterback room? Do you look to the portal? Is that the most likely thing? What are you looking to do in that area?
No, I appreciate that. I think that's where our focus is right now, is to look at the portal and see what we can do coming back in January.
Dave, also on the QBs, Chiron Drones obviously left. Has that been difficult at all as far as QB rotations, preparing for this game?
Appreciate that. No, it's been good. We're really comfortable with Luke and the work that he puts in, and just the leadership he brings, and the talent that he is. I'm very happy for Chiron and his family, for them to have their opportunity, and I know that's something that he wanted, and I'm happy for him.
Dave, as you've studied Air Force's offense, obviously the running numbers are what stands out. What are you seeing in the passing game? What kind of threat do you see that? And then how do you evaluate Hazik Daniels' skill set as a quarterback?
Appreciate that. Very impressed with their quarterback. Look across just their offense, and there's a grit, there's a fight, but there's athletic ability. And you look at 7 and the matchups, you look at 24 in space, you look at the fullback and just how quickly he hits that thing. There's clips of linebackers getting hit with a fullback, and their eyes, they've just taken like a step and replace, and they're getting hit in the chin as he barrels through. And so it's just very impressive. And the throw game is, when it's 11 on 11, and the math is in such a way. I think the bowl game last year was a great example for Air Force of if teams get too aggressive with it and safeties are too tightened down in the fit, depending, is it too high or one high, then you kind of get what you ask for in terms of the throw game. And he gets hot. It's I think it's a problem. And so way impressed.
Any last questions here? All right, otherwise, last thing, if you guys can stay here, and players, if you'd mind coming up, and when they get up here so we can identify them, and maybe you guys can give a couple thoughts on your players and why you brought them here today.
Okay. Okay. Brought Dylan Doyle. So Dylan is our linebacker / fullback. He's was a transfer coming in, so he's been really with us the whole time. We've been kind of going at it, and is a team leader. Is an unbelievable student, and so got his degree. Was academic All-American. I think just everything we want Baylor to represent. Dylan works to move into that space. Way proud of him. And then Ben Sims is a tight end for us. Is another team leader for us. A really good student. Ben is someone that I remember when I first got here, just the youth of Ben and just the kind of the growing confidence, and to see that kid to the man that we got now, and just the both feet in the ground, look in the eye, and the attack that comes out of him, just so impressed. There's a great ability on the field, but the way that he moves off the field and treats people and goes about just his daily is impressive, and again, representative of who we want to be.
Yeah, first of all, honored to introduce each one of these two guys. Truly remarkable young men. And TD Blackman, here to over TD, linebacker from right outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, Maryville, Tennessee. Tremendous leader, great spirit, incredibly humble. Just a guy that overflows with gratitude, but just day in, day out. The discipline and the commitment that he has. And on Friday, December 16th, here a few days ago, graduated from the United States Air Force Academy and received his commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. So good stuff with TD. Hazik Daniels. Hazik's from New Jersey, went to St. Vianney, and tremendous athlete in high school. As I said a little bit earlier, just the presence, the maturity, the level of intangibles that he brings as a young man will go well beyond football, and certainly has had a remarkable run for us at quarterback too. But high caliber young people that we're proud that they represent the United States Air Force Academy.
The trophy's about 80 pounds. It's made from decommissioned parts from all of the armed forces. So it, as it says, the battlefield is in its DNA.